asking me all the time what sort of lures we're using when we're barra fishing, you know, whether we're fishing charters or we're fishing on barra tour and stuff like this. And to be honest, this is one of the ones that we've used for many years. It's called the Squidgy Slick Rig Black Gold 130. You can get them in all different colours, but these work so well. The problem is, out of the packet, they just come basically like this. Got a little plastic, you obviously take that off, but like most lures of the day and some of the ones today, they're not big enough. Well, they don't have enough points hanging off them to catch a barra, because you know, a lot of times barra will just bite and then they'll be like in and out of their mouth and without catching them. So TT have developed these. It's a take on an old Gamakatsu GLS 20, and to give you an idea, these are like quite a sharp hook, and they protrude very highly from the slick rig, so it gives you a better penetration with a finer point, and it sticks out a lot more. And where this come from originally, these Gamakatsu hooks we used to use for this game fishing, light tackle game fishing, and that's where they were originally. And I couldn't believe it when they said they started using them for barra fishing. I didn't think they were strong enough, but apparently they are. Anyway, so these slick rigs on their day, out of the box, will work, but there's a couple of little techniques that we use to boost them up. So what we generally do is get a soldering on and we heat them up, and generally best done outside because it smells a bit, but I'll just show you on the table here. So what you want to do is get that tail to flick over so that it, you know, gets a good wobble up and it gets good sonics in the water so that the barra can hone in on it. So usually just get the soldering on and just rub it on here, and that flattens the tail out. And we'll do both sides like that, and you'll see the tail will fall over nice and happy either side. The other thing that we do, because we don't have any stingers or anything hanging on off this one, we burn a hole in the third one back, and that's where we're going to bring our treble through. So we just pop a hole through there with the soldering on, and you can see that it's gets a little bit smoky, a bit smelly, so it's best done outside. You don't want to do a lot of this inside. So the beauty of these TT jigger heads is they make them in ½ ounce, 3/4, and we do have a 1 ounce here. So you've got these three different sizes, which is really great. Like earlier in the year, last year when we were fishing Mondrian, there was an edge bite, so we used the ½ ounce right up on the edge. It's nice and light. You slow your wind down and get it down, and with less weight in it, it definitely does swim better. So we're going to go through and make one of these up. And that's the standard one. So you can see the amount of lead in comparison. That's a 1 ounce slick rig, and that's the new ½ ounce TT modified with a swivel on the back, ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to get one of these hooks, and we're just going to pull it out, and it just should pop out like that. So you end up with just the slick rig sitting there like that. And I'm going to put a bit of saliva on that just to make it slide in properly. And we're going to push that hook in there, and the idea is that swivel is going to pop out underneath, which really isn't that easy to do sometimes. It's a bit of a bugger to get out, but we'll try and do our best. And that goes into there like that. So this is a bit fiddly sometimes when you're trying to get this ring out of the bottom. I cheated a bit, I shut the camera off. There it is there. So you've got the that swivel hanging out of the bottom, and that's ready to attach a split ring. So the split ring that we're going to use in this case is a 100-pound swivel split ring. So 100 pounds about where you want to be, because they will open up on some of those big fish when they pull them sideways and they turn sideways in the water. So what we're going to do is open up our split ring, and we're going to whack that. Might be a bit hard for the camera to see. Good. Yeah, so we just slide this split ring onto that little swivel that's coming out of the bottom, and then we can attach one of our hooks. Usually try and use nice big 1/0. It's up to you what brand you want to use, but I generally use the sharpest and the strongest if you can get. And just attach that onto there, and we're almost done with this one. So you can see you've got a lot of point there in the water. You've got the hook hanging up nice and high, and it's got a very fine entry point. You've got very sharp hooks on the bottom. The only thing that I find sometimes is this hook will wrap up around here or around your line or something like that. So what I generally do is I just stick it in the bottom just a touch like that, so when you're casting it, it'll come out easy. It'll just pop out like that, but it just stops it from getting caught up in stuff. So I'll just pop it back in there. You can see it like that. One more thing we do, I'll just take that hook back out of the bottom, and you can use whatever colour you like, but I've always found this is the go. So it's a spike it, dip and glow, and we just do the yellow tail, and it stinks to high heaven of garlic, and it creates a little bit of contrast, which I'm sure underwater, when that tail's moving, creates the idea that there's a bit more movement in it as well.